I did everything that everybody asked me to do. I was a good girl. I went to school. I went to church. I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I wasn't doing none of that shit. I was a good girl, and it got me nowhere. So guess what? The good girl is dead. She's dead. That's enough. I said to myself, that's enough.
You know, sometimes we grow up being told, do the right thing, be good, follow the rules, stay out of trouble. And for a lot of people, especially women, that becomes our whole identity, being the good girl. But what happens when you do everything right and you still end up feeling empty, or worse, alone? In this video I'm about to show you, this woman opens up about exactly that. She says she regrets being the good girl. She played it safe, walked the straight and narrow, tried to live the life everybody told her was the right way, and now she's 40 and she feels alone. Now, I ain't here to judge her, but I do think it brings up something deep. Like, is being good always worth it if it cost you yourself? Was she wrong for living that way? Or is society kind of setting people up by rewarding obedience, but not really fulfilling them emotionally? I want y'all to really listen to what she's saying and let me know in the comments. Do you think she has a right to feel this way? And if you're being honest, can you relate to any of this? Here's the video.
I was taught over the years, you be a good girl and you'll get everything you want in life. You be a good girl. You keep your legs closed. You don't be out here fighting in these streets. You talk like a lady. You eat like a lady. You do this like a lady. And what did it get me? Huh? What did it get me? Rage. And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the good girl who grows up and she turns 40 and she looks around and she's like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I did everything that everybody asked me to do. I was a good girl. I went to school. I went to church. I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I wasn't doing none of that shit. I was a good girl, and it got me nowhere. So guess what? The good girl is dead. She's dead. That's enough. I said to myself, that's enough. It's time to bring the other girl out, right? It's time to bring the other girl out. Because the good girl, and I love her to death, but she had to die. Because at the end of all of it, you become an adult and you look around and all you have is grief.
You know, after watching that, it really makes you sit back and think. This woman did everything she was taught to do. She was respectful, played by the rules, didn't make too much noise, didn't take too many risks. She tried to live the way society says a good girl should live. And now she's 40, and she's hurting. She's sitting in grief, wondering if all that effort, all those years of trying to be the right kind of woman, were even worth it. And I want to speak on that, because for a lot of women, especially Black women, this idea of being the good girl gets drilled into us from the time we're little. We're told to cross our legs, smile politely, don't talk back, don't be too loud, don't be too bold, don't be too sexual, get good grades, go to college, don't chase boys, be respectable, and we carry all that into our adult lives, thinking that if we follow that path, it's going to lead to happiness, to love, family, fulfillment, peace. But what happens when it doesn't? What happens when you hit 40, or 30, or even 25, and you look around and realize all that sacrifice didn't bring you what you thought it would? You're successful on paper, but still feeling empty inside. You avoided mistakes, but you also missed out on chances to live, to take risks, to learn who you really are. That's where this woman is. And to be honest, I think a lot of people, women and men, can relate more than they want to admit, because we've all, in some way, been taught to play a role, to fit into someone else's idea of what a good life should look like. But here's what I want to say, and this is just me keeping it real. At the end of the day, this is your life. Nobody else is going to live it for you. Nobody else is going to carry your regrets when you're lying awake at night. So if you're feeling like the path you're on doesn't feel like it's truly yours anymore, then you have every right to change it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Whether you're 25, 40, 60, you're still alive and you still have time to pivot, to heal, to rebuild, to rediscover who you are, not just who the world told you to be. I understand her grief, and I don't think she's wrong for feeling the way she does. She's not selfish. She's not bitter. She's just waking up to the realization that she's been living for everybody else's approval, and it didn't bring her peace. And now she's asking, who am I really? And that's a scary question, but it's also the beginning of real growth. We live in a world that tells women to be selfless, to put everyone else first, to shrink themselves down to be digestible. But when you look around and see so many women burnt out, feeling unloved, unfulfilled, and forgotten, we gotta start questioning whether this good girl script is really good for us. So if you're watching this and you're feeling some kind of way, maybe you relate to her, maybe you've been living a version of this story, I want you to hear me. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes your day shine. Because no matter what you do, people are always gonna have something to say. They'll judge you if you play it safe. They'll judge you if you live bold. So you might as well live in a way that feeds your soul. Nobody's path is perfect. You're not going to get every decision right. But what you can do is decide to stop living for the sake of checking boxes and start living in a way that actually brings you joy, passion, and purpose. And listen, if you're in that space where you're trying to figure it out, give yourself grace. It's okay to outgrow the old version of you. It's okay to say, I don't want to be the good girl anymore. I want to be me. That's not rebellion. That's freedom. Let this video be a starting point. Let this conversation be the mirror that shows you it's okay to question, to feel, to change. And if nobody else says it to you today, you are allowed to start over. You are allowed to chase joy. You are allowed to put yourself first. Before I go, I really want to hear from you. What do you think about what this woman said? Do you think she has a right to regret being the good girl? Have you ever felt like you were living for everyone but yourself? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. I really want to hear your thoughts. And if you found this meaningful, share this with somebody who needs to hear it. Somebody who might be in that same season trying to find their way. Because you never know, one video, one story, one honest moment can be the thing that changes everything. Until next time, take care of you.